What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving my thoughts and speculating a bit about the new Rush Hour feature for TSW2. It was announced on the Railfan Fest live stream earlier this week, and I kind of been waiting a few days to talk about it a bit. Before we hop into the video, I'm going to ask all of you to hit the like button if you haven't already, and if you are new to the channel and you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the new Rush Hour feature was announced on the Railfan Fest live stream, I believe either on Saturday or Sunday earlier this week. And I heard about it from some people in the Discord server. I'll leave the link down there in the description. But I was hearing about it and I looked into the article they put up about it, and it kind of interested me in what this new Rush Hour feature could hold. So let's take a look at the little paragraph in the article. It says, as rush hour approaches, platforms fill with the bustle of passengers. The volume of traffic on the network increases to take on the extra load. You're constantly being checked by signals as you drive between stations, desperately fighting to keep on time and avoid delays. Test your abilities under pressure this summer with Train Sim World 2 Rush Hour. We will be revealing the routes and more on Rush Hour on trainsimworld.com on May 4th at 3 p.m. So that kind of interests me a bit, right? I'm reading it right now, and it says you're constantly being checked by signals as you drive in between stations, and that kind of gives me thoughts and theories about new routes that may come to the game, but I'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. It says the volume of traffic on the network increases to take on the extra load. Now, this makes me think they're giving the dispatcher, the in-game dispatcher, some upgrades. As you know, right now, the in-game dispatcher is kind of limited in the capabilities. You know, Baker Lou Line can't sustain all of the real train traffic that it has in real life. They can't do that in TSW because the dispatcher isn't upgraded. It's not allowing all the trains to be on the line at once. Because in real life, there would be about 23 trains on the Baker Lou line at once, and I believe it's in both directions. But in the game, there's only about 4 trains in both directions, and it's pretty infrequent. You're getting a train coming about every 20 minutes instead of every 5 minutes like in real life. So I'm thinking they're going to be giving the dispatchers some upgrades to allow more train traffic to actually be on the different routes. And I think it could definitely benefit routes like Habstrack, Munich, Augsburg, because they could add the other S-Bahn lines that run on the main section in Munich between Munich Hackerbrook and Munich Passing. They only have the S3 and S4 lines, whereas the S1 through 7 lines or something like that runs through that portion of track in real life. And with the new Rush Hour feature, adding more services could liven up that area, and it could make it really feel busy and more active than it currently is. So I'm guessing that they're going to be giving the dispatcher some upgrades. I think it could benefit LIRR as well. However, they do need some ATC upgrades for that route. But as you may know, currently the TSW timetables are kind of dumbed down to their real life counterparts. If you take a look at a route like, let's go back to the Baker Lou line, you'll see kind of like the same schedule copied all the way down, going down the line. There's no increase in services when you get to the rush hour periods, like between 6 and 10 in the morning, or between like 3 and 8 at night. You're not getting that increase in services that you would see. It's not going to go from a train coming every 5 minutes to a train coming every 3 minutes. It's going to stay the same, a train coming every 20 minutes. And that's kind of unrealistic when you look at it from someone who may have taken that route in real life, and then to look at it in the game and see that it doesn't have the real life timetable and that it kind of isn't as busy as it would be in real life. So I'm thinking that they're going to be giving the dispatcher some upgrades to allow for that rush hour capability for peak times and more train traffic on the routes. Now, let's take a look at this part, right? It says platforms fill with the bustle of passengers. Now, we all know Sam, Matt, and Adam have been talking about a passenger overhaul for a while now. They've been kind of hinting at it each roadmap stream, but they have claimed that they haven't really been working on it yet. And it's a bummer that they claim they haven't been working on it yet, as it really is needed, and it desperately is needed. The passengers currently in TSW are just lifeless, and they don't give the impression that they're actually waiting for trains. They don't give the impression that they're actual people commuting on the subway or on the actual commuter rail. So platforms filling with the bustle of passengers gives me hope that they're going to be giving the passengers some overhauls. We're going to be start to see more passengers at the stations, and during rush hours we might see more passengers actually appear. So there'll be a difference in passengers between 12 in the afternoon. There may be about 10 people on the platform, but then just 3 hours later at 3 o'clock the whole platform will be packed, and you get that kind of real rush hour feeling, like you're transporting people from work back home or from home to work. And I just kind of think that the passengers, this is the passenger overhaul that they've been talking about for a while. Now let's talk about routes that may get this rush hour feature in the future. I'm not sure if it'll go to older routes. I really do hope it does, because I feel like the Bakerloo line could definitely benefit from something like this. But if we're talking about new routes, right, I think Cathcart Circle Line, right? Now the Cathcart Circle Line is kind of a condensed type of route. It's not really a full-on metro route, but I feel like it could benefit from rush hour peak time travel, having more services pop up around rush hour times and having more passengers appear on the platforms during rush hour, because it is still a kind of quote-unquote metro commuter type of route. And I feel like having a kind of rush hour time on that route could make it feel more realistic. Now for routes they haven't announced yet, something that always comes to mind, and it may just be wishful thinking because I really do want this route in the game, but it's New York City subway. And I say this because it says you're constantly being checked by signals as you drive in between stations, desperately fighting to keep to time and avoid delays. Now this is something that really resonates with New York City subway. We have this thing called timer signals, and it kind of restricts the train's speed in a certain section. So about 200 meters before the actual signal, you'll see a little speed sign that'll say GT 20, and that means great timer 20. You have to lower your speed to 20 miles an hour. If you don't lower it in time and you pass the signal, it will either trip your brakes or it will turn yellow. If it turns yellow, the next signal will be red, and that signal will be checking your speed. If you're under the speed, the signal will turn green, and it'll keep going like that. It's a very complicated system with 1-shot, 2-shot timers, grade timers, station timers, and it's a signaling system that's always checking your speeds, always checking to see if you're doing everything correctly with the train. Now I feel like New York City subway kind of has that thing with the signals that it could make it feel like you're being checked by it all the time. So that's just kind of what I think could be in a new route with this rush hour thing. And also New York City subway gets very, very crowded during rush hours. Some of you may know how the London Underground gets crowded during rush hours. That's the same way New York is. Once it hits, like, it's crowded all the times, but once it hits rush hour, the stations are packed, the trains are packed, you're not getting a seat, you're barely going to be able to stand up on the trains either. So I kind of feel like that may be a route. It's been suggested a lot, so it's definitely a big possibility right there. But another possibility is the London Underground, and I just mentioned it. The London Underground gets packed during rush hour, level 11 capacity, like Geoff Marshall said in one of his videos. They have another type of signaling system as well with the automatic and the repeater signals, and it could be cool to have some type of subsurface route, like the Circle Line going between Edgware Road and Aldgate, and you're constantly being checked, all these yellow signals and stuff. You're getting stuck by Metropolitan Line trains, you're approaching Mansion House and the whole platform is packed. I feel like New York City subway and London Underground, those are two systems that have to deal with this rush hour. Those are the two systems that they get packed during rush hour. They have tricky signals that you have to pay attention to a lot, and I feel like that's definitely a possibility now, you know. So I feel like those are definitely the two routes that they haven't been announced yet. I'm putting a "yet" in quotes over here, but those are definitely two routes that have a possibility of being included in this new rush hour feature or expansion for TSW. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this new rush hour feature slash expansion, whatever you want to call it. What are your thoughts on this? Tell me down in the comment section down below. And I know I just kind of rambled on for about 10 minutes here. I just wanted to get my thoughts out about this new rush hour expansion slash feature. It was interesting me. I've been thinking about it this past week, and it made me come to the conclusion as like, it does sound like it could be some type of metro style route or a subway route. And one route that I did not mention in this video, the Munich S-Bahn. As I did say, there's a whole bunch of lines that connect around Munich to Munich passing, and I feel like a new Munich S-Bahn route, like a full route, the S1 or the S8, I feel like that's definitely another possibility, because a lot of people actually like the S-Bahn on Hauptstrasse Munich Augsburg, and Hauptstrasse Munich Augsburg, the S-Bahn in Munich, those signals are pretty tricky with the LZB, the PZB. You have to kind of monitor your speed and all that. I feel like that's another possibility, but I think it's going to be more metro style routes are definitely in the works. That's my thoughts for TSW with this new rush hour thing that they have announced. As I said, if you have any other thoughts on this, post them down in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think this new rush hour expansion is, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.